Welcome back to another episode of the 242 podcast, where we break down biblical elements through conversations together. My name's Cole, and I'm joined by Jeremiah. And today, I wanted to ask you, what mistakes have you learned from in ministry?
Well, how much time do we have?
We have 30 minutes.
Okay. I think for me, probably the first thing that I would say has been the biggest lesson for me is the initial thing is always that you try to do things on your own that you're not meant to do. And so instead of bringing people alongside of us that kind of help cover our weaknesses, we just do them ourselves. And some things we are good at. Some things you are good at, but it doesn't mean you need to be doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think leaning into other people requires vulnerability. And so, not having patience to teach people. So I'll just do it myself. It's easier and faster. I can see you smiling.
Right, you're talking
'cause I know
straight
you
to me
do
right
it.
now. This is
So it's like, oh, I'll just do it myself but actually that's like really rooted in pride, right? I do it faster and better than you. And I think we always say everybody should do everything 100% all the time. That's not true either. We don't do stuff 100% all the time. So I think, first one would be definitely early on, but I'm going to tell you, I'm 50 and I still be doing it sometimes. I mean, I'm just like, oh, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
I'll show up early and do it. Some of it, is it rooted in pride that we, think we're better? I don't know. I don't feel like that's in my heart, but my actions may say something different. And so that's like an early lesson in ministry, early lesson in leadership, and something that you still have to watch yourself as you grow.
Yeah, I think specifically talking about that, I got called out like maybe a month ago.
I thought you were going to say yesterday.
No, it was, I mean, it's been the whole month, but like it was not delegating.
Yeah.
Like I would get to church on a Tuesday really early. I would set everything up, make sure the room was good, chairs are straight, TV was on, Apple TV was working, everything was good, the outside was good. And I have maybe, I think it's 10 leaders that volunteer every Tuesday, and they're sitting there like, hey, we're ready, we're here at your disposal. What do you need done? I'm like, oh, I already did everything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not giving them a chance to serve the vision of the house. I'm not giving them a chance to serve the youth in the area of setting things up or giving them tasks. And so they definitely were like calling me out. And then you saying that, it just makes me smile.
Yeah. And I think, let's go back to that before we go to the next thing that I'll tell you. I'll tell you like 3 of them that I think I'm learning from. But that thing that you're talking about is sometimes we feel like we're helping people by doing it when actually we're making them not feel a part or even valued.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think there's 2 things leaders do, right? 2 things. So I'll give you an A and a B of the first thing you asked me. A, we do too much and we don't invite people in. But then the part B of that is there's the flip side where people delegate and never contribute.
Yeah.
And so I think as a leader, sometimes us being present doing with someone even shows value and builds community. So should a leader have to be there for everything? No, but also you can't be absent from everything.
Yeah.
We did a work day and guys were running circles around me in this work day. I'm like, goodness gracious. And they're all skilled at what they're doing. We're renovating the building. But yet I was there. I just did whatever I could do. I don't care if it's moral support. I wanted to be a part of it. Yeah. I didn't want to not be a part of that day.
Yeah.
And so I think the negative to that too is that some people over delegate and never come alongside. And that would lead me to my second one, which is not setting clear expectations, right? So I think first for me, I potentially want to do stuff because I feel like if I just do it, it's less burdensome to people. But then also the part 2 is if we don't set clear expectations for people, that's a whole nother element that is like, how do they know how you want it done or how it should be done if you don't actually slow down and create clear expectations? And I'll say this, my wife's really good at this. Like when she steps in to do something, I sometimes am like, I feel like that's over communicating. It's not. It's setting clear expectations and then asking questions back. Like, you don't have to say like, what did you hear me say?
Yeah.
But you can say back like, what did you hear me say? Like, does that make sense? Like, so that they know like why we're there early, why we do equipment the way we do equipment.
Yeah.
Why, for you, why are cameras the way cameras are? What is the purpose behind it? We're setting clear expectations so people know the value behind what we're doing.
Yep.
That works in every area of your life, even in your home with your kids.
Yeah. Yeah, especially at youth. I mean, they asked me, they're like, why do you spend 20 minutes on the chairs? Why do you make sure there's no trash on the floor in the garage? I'm like, I want youth to walk in the room and not think this was just thrown together for something for them to do.
I'm not an afterthought.
Yeah. I want them to be the thought. And so, and then to go back to said, you were talking about doing things with people. I think for my job, I'm an account manager for a landscape company, and I have people come to me, why are you weed whacking? Don't you have guys to do that? I'm like, yes, and if I don't do it, I'm not going to ask them to do something I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Like, why are you digging a hole? Because I want them to know that I'll do it with them if need be, right?
Yeah.
And so it builds camaraderie, it builds teamwork, it builds relationship. Now I have a level of trust with those employees, and they have a level of trust with me that other account managers don't have.
Correct. And you see things on your property that you otherwise wouldn't see, or you experience things that you might not see if you're not the one doing it.
100%.
And so I've found, way back in the day when I worked on a golf course, they were like, you have to do this. You have to play golf. I was like, I have to play golf? They're like, you have to, because you need to see the course the way somebody who plays it sees it. And so I think that's important. Bring that into like leadership in the church. Like, it's good to see and experience what people are experiencing that you're leading, because it might not be the same way it was when you were leading that area 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think that's instrumental. For me, it is. So, yeah, I agree with you. I think you can delegate, but then sometimes you need to come alongside.
Yeah, definitely.
And just be like, hey, I want to do this with you. You don't have to. No, I want to.
Yeah.
Actually, I want to be with you, and I want to serve, and I want to do this as well. And I think leadership in the kingdom is an upside down leadership anyways. So it starts from the place of serving. And so I think sometimes in the church I've seen where we over delegate or under delegate. Rarely do we do it right.
Yeah.
It's like we do it ourselves, or we just give it and walk away.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, he's just failing. He's sinking. Well, nobody even showed him what to do.
No vision.
Yeah. It's absolutely sure. So number 3 in the mistakes would be probably neglecting in my listening. That's gonna.
You talking to me,
it's
bro?
hurting. It hurts, doesn't it? It's just for everybody, bro. It's the same. Like when I say neglecting, like in listening, like team members. My wife and I we own a business together. We also do leadership. We're both we co-lead the church together. And somebody will come up to me and they'll say something, and I have to, you have to ask yourself, like, am I truly listening? Not just to the words, but am I listening to their heart?
Yeah. The
why behind why they're asking something, so that I can be a better leader in that area. And sometimes you'll hear the cry of people. Like, so these are early mistakes and mistakes I still make today. I mean, it's just the nature of it. I think for me, neglecting the value of listening is an easy mistake to make. Actually, when you say you're doing chairs, right? Somebody comes in, they start doing chairs with you, and then they start saying something. You'll hear something in what they're saying beyond what they're saying.
Yeah.
If you just listen.
Yep.
Right. And so I have found that when we become generous listeners and we stop neglecting the art of listening as leaders, I think we need to be great listeners. Early on, as you were talking, I was always listening. I was listening, but only listening and thinking about my response while I was listening. And let me just tell you a quick story. So I'm in Orlando. It's like a impromptu meeting. I go with a friend of mine. We're both on staff together. I end up there, and there's this guy. His name is Chris Volatin. He's a pastor out in California. And the environment ended up being really small. And he came out and asked about question and answers. And so we were writing up answers as fast as we could write answers, raising our hand. We were the only ones doing it, by the way. It was the funniest thing. And we're asking all these questions about leadership. And when we stood up at the end of this and we were talking to him, I felt like I was holding the people up behind me. Mm-hmm. When I tell you, this guy was such a generous listener. Like, I felt like he saw no one else in the room.
Yeah.
I left and my friend left, and we both said to each other, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to listen to people the way he listened. Like, when I tell you, bro, like, he didn't see anyone else. It was like he was looking. I'm not kidding you, bro. It was weird. It was like he's looking into my. At some point, it was uncomfortable. I'm like, man, he needs to look away a couple times. And at one point, we felt like we were holding him.
Yeah.
And so we were like, hey, we might. I know you had a lot of people, and he's like, no. I'm actually here for you guys.
Mm.
And I left, dude. Like, if there was one pivotal moment in my leadership, that day.
Yeah.
That day I left and said, I don't ever want to lead the way I was leading before. I want to lean in to what he has. And actually, I think it was that he valued me enough to actually listen and to hear God's heart in the conversation, so that he could answer the way that God wanted him to answer. And it was the best thing ever, bro.
So let me ask you a question, and I want you to answer really, really, really practically. How do you shut off your internal conversation and listen?
Oh, wow, that's such a good question. Wow, I didn't think about that. I would say it's something you practice. It doesn't happen overnight. I still find myself sometimes moving past people, but I am definitely better. At this stage in my life, I'm better than I ever have been before.
Yeah.
But what I do, this is just me practically, I genuinely try to just look at the person, because, like, let's say you're standing in the foyer of a church. When I look at you and don't look at everybody else, then I'm going to be focused on you.
Yep.
And I sometimes, when the conversation comes up in my head, I literally tell myself, Jeremiah, be here.
Yeah.
In the present, in the now, and be a generous listener. Listen with the intent to learn.
Yeah.
If I told you, I'm going to give you, this is a good analogy. Let me just tell you. So a mutual friend of ours, his name is Andrew. Shout out to Andrew, right? He's an electrician. And so I was in this little pump house. I called him on the phone. I'm like, hey, bro, what do I do? And it's a 220 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's enough to, like, I mean, it could kill you, for sure kill you. And I'm in there and I'm like, as he's giving me instructions, I'm listening intently, because
it's important.
It's my life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So halfway through whatever I'm doing, he goes, hey, make sure you don't. And I'm telling you, bro, it was like I stopped completely. I was like, don't what? I was hanging on his words. What if we, in conversations, brought those principles over where we said, hey, there could be such a God moment, such that dunamis power, like where it's like lightning in a conversation, where there's a moment for healing, a moment for forgiveness, a moment for whatever you're walking through with that person that you're talking to. Like, if we valued it like we valued someone giving us instructions, because in the same way, my wife could give me instructions about how to load the dishwasher, and I would be like not listening, tuned out, watching football, and then not do it correctly, because I know that it doesn't, in my mind, what I'm saying is I don't value that.
Yeah, it's pride.
But I value it when it affects me. Oh, that'll preach. So when I was in that thing and I'm like, he ain't here to help me. If I do the wrong thing, it's one or two things are going to happen. I'm going to get hurt, or the equipment's going to get hurt.
Yep.
So I wanted to listen, right? So to answer your question about being a generous listener, I think if we treat it that way and we can stay focused and remind ourselves, like, hey, be here, be present. And when you start to drift, because it's going to happen, you just remind yourself, hey, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Lean. I know it's practical. I don't know if it's great, but that's what I would tell you to do.
I think two things practically. I think it's okay to not answer right away.
Yeah.
You can just look at a person and say, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Sit in the silence for a second. And then another thing, super practical, like if you have problem and you keep catching yourself creating a conversation in your brain to answer, maybe you are valuing your answers more than their conversation.
Yeah.
And you're valuing your words more than their words.
Yeah.
And you're not looking eye to eye to a person. You're looking like this down at a person.
Yeah. And the person might even have a question. They might actually be just telling you a story about their life.
Maybe.
And they're actually wanting you to celebrate.
Yeah.
And you can't celebrate what you don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
So I can't lean in and celebrate something when I've been disengaged. Again, you're married. I'm married. I won't even ask you how many times, because you're newlier married than I am, but I won't even ask you how many times your wife said, "Are you listening to me?" Like, right. If we were in the moment where we were somebody and we're like, don't, I've been around people when I'm telling, they're like, "How was your day?" And I'm telling them it really wasn't that great. And they're like, "Well, amen." And I'm like, "Bro,
what?
You didn't listen to anything I just said." Because that is not the punctuation at the end of my conversation that you needed. I needed to tell you, and you should have said to me, "Man, I'll be praying with you."
Yeah.
I've walked through that. But because you're not a generous listener, you're not listening intently, you just say like whatever the Christianese word is. Yeah. And people feel like they know it immediately, like, "Oh, you didn't listen."
Yeah, not listening definitely kills relationship.
And it breaks, severs the trust in the relationship, because it says, "I don't value you."
Yeah.
Yeah. I've known leaders in my life that in the middle of a conversation, they'd walk away. They ask you a question, you just walk away. And you're like, "Wait,
wow,
where'd you go?
Yeah,
You're gone."
That.
I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that. And I'll go back to that thing with Chris where I just stood there in front of him and thought to myself, I feel seen and I feel heard. And it instilled in a young leader. My friend and I were both young leaders at that point. I remember thinking, the feeling that I have is what people should feel when they encounter me.
Yeah.
Not in a leadership role, just in life.
Yeah.
At the grocery store. I don't want to be on the phone while the woman's ringing me out.
Yeah.
I want to be attentive. That might be a moment where God uses it for something better.
Yeah. I think something in my life that, like I do this, I'll have an angry homeowner who's furious about something, and I'll walk up, knock on the door, they'll come outside, I have my sunglasses on. The moment I start to feel things are getting tense, I take my sunglasses off and I look at them intently, and it de-escalates situations.
Immediately. Yeah.
And then I tell them, "Hey, listen, I know you have concerns. I know you have frustrations. My shoulders are big enough to hold it. Like, what do you have?" They go through it, and then I don't want to complain. You're just, "Thank you for coming over here. I really appreciate this." And you're just like, it was no problem.
They're like,
I just had to listen and look at you. That's it.
You were so cute. I just love you.
That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you, because I think actually making the physical connection is important. And when somebody sees you disengaged, it's only going to increase anxiety.
Yep.
It's going to increase the feeling of separation.
Yeah, or the story they've already told themselves about.
Or this guy doesn't value me or love me or care for me. But I'm going to tell you, dude, and I could throw the guy's name out that was with me, but I'll leave it I'll leave it for the chat underneath. But I remember him looking at me and going, with like legit with a tear in his eye, being like, "I feel like I just encountered Jesus." And I'm not saying that leader's perfect.
Yeah.
What I am saying is, over the years, he's learned a way in which to communicate and show value. And I'm telling you, it was authentic. It was not fake. And I just remember walking away going, "I want to learn that."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I couldn't imagine how it would feel in the Old Testament when I don't remember the story exactly, but she was like, "The God who sees me."
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that feeling.
Yeah. My wife got a prophetic word one time, just in a season where she felt like not seen.
Yeah.
Insignificant in ministry. She's so gifted and talented, but then she felt just even that wasn't being like lifted up. And we were away at another place, and a very well-known worship leader in the middle of worship, my wife, I think she was standing with her hands, like this. She was singing with her. She was singing backup. And the woman turned around, and I could tell she was praying for her, but I didn't know what she said. And afterwards I asked her, and she just said, "I see you." And my wife I just remember, and it wasn't the woman, "I see you."
Yeah.
It was God saying, "I see you. I see your heart." Isn't it funny that we should be modeling that?
Yeah.
When I speak to Holy Spirit, he isn't looking over my shoulder or to the next person. He is attentively looking at me. The more I seek him, the more I find him. So I think it's the same way when we're dealing with people. We should be giving them the Christ likeness that's in us, to be attentive.
Yeah.
And listen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Those are a few mistakes.
Just a few.
Just a few. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Super practical. I love it. Yeah. It's great talking to you.
Great talking to you. Always good talking to you.
Always good. I know I'm not your favorite guest.
No, Cole Kelly, chicken nugget. That's gonna be. It's gonna live with me forever.
We're gonna close on that note. Thank you guys for tuning into another episode of the 242 podcast. We'll see you later.
Love you, bro.
Love you.